Did you just find out that you have a Cancer rising sign, or you like somebody who has a Cancer rising, or you just want to know more about each rising sign in general? Today we're going to be talking about strengths, weaknesses, love compatibility, all the fun stuff about Cancer risings that you might want to know. So if those are things that sound interesting to you, be sure to keep on watching. Hola my beautiful lotus flowers, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here and choosing to spend these precious moments here on my channel. If you're into nerding out on everything astrology, spirituality, and fantasy, this is the community for you. For those of you who may not be familiar with what a rising sign is, aka the Ascendant Sign, if you want to be more formal, I have a video all about rising signs here, but I am going to give a small summary to kind of let you understand it before we dive into the details. So you have the big three in astrology. You have your rising sign, your sun sign, and your moon sign. And if you know nothing else about your birth chart, these are the three signs that are very, very, very important to know, and they can let you know a lot about yourself. So the difference between the sun sign and the rising sign. Sun sign is where the sun was at the moment you were born, which constellation it was in the moment you were born. Your rising sign is wherever the sun was rising on the eastern horizon at the moment you were born, what constellation it was passing through. Now the difference between the two, when we're trying to pay attention to a person's personality, your sun sign is a little bit more representative of your ego and basically how you handle yourself in the world. But your rising sign is more related to your outward appearance and first impressions. Now, again, if you want to know way more in depth what everything regarding your rising sign is, you can refer to that video once again. But if not, just know that overall, it's more so how you are perceived by people who don't know you very well and how you tend to act around people who don't know you very well versus a sun sign, which gives us a deeper layer into your personality and into your actual ego. And then the moon sign, which goes deeper into your inner emotions. So it's kind of like each sign is peeling back the layers a bit more. Think of the rising sign as your outermost layer. First, we're going to talk a little bit about the overall personality of someone who has a Cancer ascendant sign. So something to know about Cancer is it's ruled by the moon. So it's going to be very representative of a person's emotional nature overall. The moon rules over emotions, and so this means that Cancers are usually related to having a very emotional and intuitive nature. They take things very much to heart, whether it be in a positive or a negative way. And this is going to be the same for a Cancer ascendant sign. And on top of that, the moon is also known as the mother planet. So it's representative of feminine, maternal, parental energy overall. So someone who has a Cancer ascendant sign is also going to see this in the way that they act, and a lot of people are going to perceive this about them, that they tend to be very family oriented. Building a good home for themselves, their family, or their future family is very, very important to them. Even to people they don't know very well, these Cancer rising signs can tend to be very parental to everybody. Even if it's somebody that they may not know too well, they tend to want to naturally watch over everybody, be a parent or a guardian. And this can almost make them seem like a control freak in a way, like they're kind of like micromanaging everybody around them, even if that person or those people don't know them very well. But this can also be because they care so deeply about other people, and they tend to show that. So when they care so deeply about others, they are the type who would rather take the fall or rather endure pain caused by managing a situation versus putting others out there in that path. So they're almost like very self-sacrificial because of how much they care. Now, although Cancer risings can display being very emotional, this also combines with the cardinal quality of Cancer. And cardinal quality signs are more leaders. So this means that a Cancer rising can seem actually like someone very dependable to other people. Other people think that, oh, that person, yeah, that person seems like, I can really rely on them or I can really trust them, because they're natural leaders and they exhibit that to everybody as a Cancer rising. They are religiously intuitive no matter what type of situation they're in, whether it's a situation that would be better ran off of logic. They're extremely intuitive and they will rely a lot on how they feel about something or their gut feeling or whatever their intuition might be telling them. On top of that, they're extremely affectionate and generous people, and because of their loving nature and because they're so focused on family and loved ones that they hold dear, they are going to be very, very loyal. And one of the biggest things that a Cancer rising will seek in their life are people who are extremely loyal to them and long-lasting bonds. Let's talk about a few weaknesses that people with Cancer rising may find themselves experiencing or have experienced at some point in their life. Just things to be aware of. I don't really like to call them weaknesses because they're important for us to learn from. So let's just say qualities to be aware of and how you can potentially work with them. And Cancer risings will definitely have a recurrent theme in their life where they can't seem to find people who truly understand them, understand their true intentions, the way that they are. And Cancer risings can take this very personally and take it to heart just because of the fact that they care so much. And this means that they can be very quick to build barriers to protect themselves against people they don't know very well or towards people that they did trust once. And even though it's understandable why you would put up that protective barrier, it's important for Cancer risings to take these emotions and channel them to fuel things that they want, to learn from these experiences and make it even better than before. Their emotions really are their superpower, their emotions and their intuition. And instead of building those protective barriers that block you from potential opportunities and potential relationships, you need to learn how to work with that energy instead. In addition to that, because they care so much about finding people who are loyal and faithful to them and only them, they can really struggle to find their independence. They will rely a lot on gaining happiness from the comfort of other people, from other people loving them and showing them affection and showing them attention. But a Cancer rising's true power comes through when they can find independence and they can share their really strong, caring emotions with those who truly care about them, but they will only do this if they become independent rather than depending and relying on every single person that comes along that sweeps them off their feet. And because Cancer risings have that tendency to be so focused on building a great life for them and their families, they can work themselves to the point of exhaustion, and this can cause health problems for Cancer risings. And they can also tend to take all of that weight of the world that they feel is on their shoulders and internalize it, and that prevents them from talking to anybody about it, sharing their emotions, and really expressing them. And Cancers have some of the most turbulent, powerful emotions out there, and so it's important to share them and get them out of their own heads so that way it doesn't make them sick or feel insane later on, because all of that will accumulate over time. So it needs some form of release. Cancer risings may also find themselves being very prone to addictive substances, so that's definitely something to watch out for. Before we talk about Cancer rising strengths and talk about love compatibility, be sure that you like this video. Please, 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 it helps me out so much. Comment down below what you found interesting so far, what you learned, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. All right, so moving into some strengths of people who have Cancer Ascendant signs. As we had mentioned in what things to be aware of, Cancers can really, really, really grow a lot from having prolonged times of solitude. And this helps them develop that emotional independence and that self-love that they need to be able to share their feelings and share their emotions with the world in a healthy manner, rather than trying to latch on to people that they think care about them, get hurt, and put up a protective wall that just puts them further and further away from the world. Another great thing about about Cancer ascendants is they're extremely resilient. So because they're so focused on the future, their family, their current loved ones, all of that, they have such a huge drive. And again, with that cardinal quality, they make great natural born leaders that are really, really driven by emotion and passion. Topping onto that, and one of the reasons they make such great leaders is their resilience and the fact that they're resourceful in various situations, and situations where everyone else might be lost and not know what the heck to do. Cancer ascendants can really have that intuition that is able to lead people out of a bad situation. All right, now the fun part. Some potential compatible signs for people that have a Cancer rising sign. And I don't want to say this is like a for sure thing, because honestly, compatibility depends on both people's entire birth charts. But it's fun to just ponder over the fact that these are potential zodiac signs that you might be able to match with if you're a Cancer ascendant. One of the biggest qualities that a Cancer ascendant really will benefit from is having a partner who is extremely grounded, stable, and secure in their lives, and really secure in themselves and confident. Because, you know, Cancers have such a up and down emotional scale, and they go through a lot of internal battles, and it's really good for them to have somebody who's grounded and confident enough to be able to kind of pull them gently back down to earth, so they're able to talk to them. Cancer risings can express their emotions with them, and that person will gently guide them back down to earth, hug them, and help nurture them whenever they need it. Cancer risings can also display a bit of a childish nature when they're in relationships, when they're in love, or whatever it may be. So it's really good for them to potentially have a partner too that may be a bit older, or at least a bit more mature than they are, and again have a stable life going for them as well. In addition to all that, Cancer risings can tend to be very passionate and sensual lovers, because again, their passion and their emotions, their intuition are the main things that lead them forward in every aspect of life, including romance. So it's very important that they have a partner that also loves to express themselves romantically, and also loves to be mushy and be sensual whenever the Cancer rising feels like it as well. So because of that, one of my, probably my number one sign that I think a Cancer rising would be very compatible with is someone who has a very strong Taurus nature. And that's because Tauruses are known to be not just sensual and romantic and really into displays of affection and whatnot, but they're also an earth sign, and they're very, very grounded. They're extremely loyal. Sorry, my camera cut off, but yeah, Tauruses are known to be like the most loyal zodiac sign, and because of that, they would be very fitting for a Cancer. They love nurturing relationships with people and helping others, and when they find those that they love, they are extremely faithful and really willing to endure the hardships in order to help that person grow or love them through all the obstacles. Both signs are very focused on building a great foundation for themselves and for their future families and current loved ones they may have in their lives. So they definitely agree on that theme in their lives. The second sign that I really highly feel that would be very compatible with a Cancer ascendant are people with Virgo energy. And the reason for that is Virgos are comparable to Tauruses because they're both earth signs. And a Virgo is really concerned with helping others usually. They really love teamwork, they love contributing to something. And so again, a Virgo and a Cancer will really agree on building a great foundation for other people, having a passion that's driven by helping other people, helping charity, volunteering. Both signs will be very compatible in that sense, to the point where they love helping each other so much they might even maybe argue over it sometimes. So, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. So these two would just be a very stable compatible relationship is what I feel. As far as sensuality and everything goes, Taurus definitely fits the bill a lot more for Cancer, but Virgos are definitely in second place to me. If you have anything to add about love compatibility for a Cancer ascendant, leave it down in the comments, or if you are a Cancer rising and you learned something or you resonate with this video, leave that down in the comments as well. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure that you don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on future astrology videos. And if you haven't already, be sure to join the LaBlue Lotus Facebook community where we talk much more about everything astrology, spirituality, and fantasy. Link will be in the description box for you as well. And if you have not watched these videos, be sure that you watch them right now. I promise they'll teach you something that you didn't know about astrology. And again, thank you so much for being here, for sharing this time with me. Can't wait to see you in the next video. So until then, adios.